How's it going, guys? Travis Estes here. Gonna do a brief walk and talk. I'm gonna kind of just pace back and forth. It's nighttime again, I know. I'm so busy. I rarely have any time to do these talks during the day, so I'm gonna try to stay near some of these street lights so at least it's not black the whole time. Anyway, so when I was young, my parents got divorced. We moved to Camp Verde. Camp Verde, it's kind of a sucky town in my opinion. It seems so beautiful. It's got low crime rate and all these things, but coming from kind of a nicer, more established area of Peoria, moving to Camp Verde, I didn't really make quick friends with people fast, and actually I kind of got bullied pretty severely, and also got my ass kicked a few times. So I'm going to talk about what I think is the worst ass kicking I've ever got, and I've had a few in my day, given a few in my day too, but this day, I got it. I don't think I gave it all. So this is in 8th grade. I have braces still. I hadn't really been seeing my orthodontist because, lost health insurance, also my parents are broke, can't really afford to do nothing with it, right? So anyways, there's this kid, his name's Clint Scott, and I don't want to really speak ill of Clint Scott because despite this incident, he was actually a pretty nice guy, and plus he passed away a number of years back, and he was an only child to his parents, and they're good people. So I'm not trying to say Clint Scott was a bad person. He was just kind of an over testosterone fueled cowboy who felt he had something to prove, and I gave him a reason to. So anyways, like I said, we're in Camp Verde. We're pretty dang poor at this time now. I'm pretty comfortable wearing my glasses nowadays, even though it makes my eyes huge. When I was younger, it was something I was really self-conscious about. And so I tried to wear contacts whenever I could. However, contacts, particularly back then in my prescription, were very expensive. And so I would kind of use them way beyond what was allowed. And we had no money for new ones at this time. And I was down to my last pair. They were going to maybe last 2 more months. I'm already worn them like 4 months longer than I'm supposed to. So anyways, we're out in the field. The kids are joking around. Clint Scott taps on my shoulder from behind. I turn around, and as a joke, he had picked up a handful of chalk from the soccer field, and he blew it in my face. Kind of went right in my eyes. I immediately knew that these contacts were done. They were not going to survive this. I could already feel them, falling out. And kind of in a rage, I punched him in the face. All 85 pounds I could muster, and Clint Scott was a 160-pound cowboy junior bull riding champ. And he proceeded to pretty much just grab me by the neck, pick me up, slam me down, put me in a full mount basically, and just started wailing on my face. It's kind of black in and out during this time. I got hit a lot though. I remember trying to defend myself and trying to, grab his hands or trying to, claw at his eyes or something, but there was really, with that type of size difference, there wasn't very much I could do. So, there was girls screaming, stop it, you're gonna kill him, and, he just kept going, and finally this other kid, JD I think was his name, one of the other big kids in class, and he grabbed Scott and, said he's had enough, and threw him off me. So, amazingly I wasn't unconscious by this point, and I remember I rolled over, and this girl, Misty Keeler, grabbed me and helped me get up, and I remember, I had to spit, and I spit, and it was just blood, so much blood. And, if you've ever had your ass kicked real bad, you'll kind of know, you're aware that, this hurts a lot, but it doesn't really hurt. It's, a very detached kind of feeling. And I knew something was wrong because I tried to talk, and I couldn't, move my mouth. And that's because all of my cheeks and lips had been completely slashed, and the braces had actually punched through my lips. So my mouth is cut open, and the braces are sticking through skin, and I'm pretty fucked up, honestly. So yeah, pretty much went to the hospital. They had to take the braces out of the skin. They had to stitch me up. I missed quite a bit of school. And like I said, Clint Scott, he wasn't a horrible guy. I mean, he did a pretty horrible thing. But, you know, he, like 2 days later, when I was, like, out of the hospital, you know, he called me on my phone, on my, you know, landlines back then, if I didn't want to talk to him. And he called again, and he kept calling. And I talked to him, and he just was crying, you know, just crying and crying. He's like, I'm so sorry, I lost my temper. I can't believe I did that to you. I'm so sorry. You know, and his parents, like I said, were good people. I mean, he had some pretty serious ramifications at home. I think he was grounded for forever. I'm pretty sure they sold his horse, you know, which for a cowboy is a pretty big deal. But, man, like, I don't know, if you've never had your ass kicked before, it's quite an experience, you know. And that was a frickin' doozy. You know, I've had my nose broken a few times. I've been rocked and jumped by groups of people, and I've been hit with sticks and bricks, but dude, that something about cowboy strength, man. That dude just absolutely rocked me completely and totally. You know, and I did punch him first, but get the size difference. You know, I weigh, you know, 165 pounds now, something like that. If an 85-pound kid punched me, you know, it would be a little bit of a dick move to put the fucking beat down on him. So, yeah, it sucked. But, you know, I survived, and I don't really have any bad scarring from it. Just a bad memory, you know, which is made slightly strange just knowing that, you know, it's not like he just died recently. I mean, he died, I think, in high school, like a few years later, in a quadding accident. He was trying to do some ramp or something like that, and him and another kid lost their life doing that, you know. So, you know, it's not nice to speak ill of the dead, so I won't. And, you know, I forgave him back then. You know, I held a lot of bitterness for a while, but, you know, enough time's passed. Just one of those things that happen, you know. I'm stronger for it. You know, I know what I can take, and, you know, I know not to make rash decisions, even though, you know, in that world, it's like, it's not because you just playing pranks, and when you're a boy in middle school, that shit's gonna happen, you know. Someone blows some chalk dust in your face, you know, maybe that stings a little bit. There's not much that's gonna do to you. It's just chalk. But in my situation, it like destroyed my last pair of contacts, and I knew that I was gonna have to wear the glasses that everyone would make fun of me for, and I was already just kind of in a bad state of mind, having moved from this really beautiful house in Peoria that was, you know, my neighbors were kids of doctors and business owners, and then I'm in Camp Verde, and it's just like tweakers and cowboys, and, you know, just, I mean, there was nice people there too, don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of not nice people I'd never had to interact with before, and I don't really want to have to interact with again, you know. So, yeah, it's not really, I don't have a lesson for that story, you know. Not really. There's no point. Got my ass beat. I was in 8th grade. It sucked, but you know, you get over these things. If you've ever been in a fight, more than one, there's a good chance you've had your ass beat. Even the world's top athletes, they get their ass beat occasionally. If you're gonna fight any given day, someone can whoop your ass. There's no person on the planet who can take down every single person who comes at them. It's just gonna happen, you know. And I haven't been in a fight in 10 years, 11 years now, and I don't plan on getting one again. Though there was a time when I got in a lot. So, you know, if you were like the type of person maybe got in like one fight in your life, and, you know, maybe you got your ass beat, or it didn't go the way you wanted, or you felt like you got punked, or a bit of a pussy, I'll just let that shit go. It's really a juvenile thing, really, anyways, to fight. Like, we live in the modern world. We don't have to fight for survival, you know. That's not the way that our world works. You know, just live your life, be happy. That's the best way to do it, you know. Like I've said in some other videos, some of the bullies I used to deal with, I am friends with on Facebook, and I gotta watch their lives be not so great because they're not so great at people. And maybe that's a little messed up of me to take a slight morbid pleasure in that. However, it is what it is. My life's pretty dang awesome. Got an amazing wife, have a great job, you know, got money in the bank, drive a nice car. Things are good for me. So, it doesn't matter. I got my ass whooped in 8th grade. Or like, you know, the 5 or 6 other times it happened in my life. It's over. It's done with, you know. And the truth is, like, you know, I won a lot of fights too, but it's not like something I really feel, it's not something that gets me excited to think about, you know. It's almost kind of like cringy. It's like, man, you know, that could have been de-escalated, or, you know, I could have walked away from that, or, you know, how does that guy feel? You know, I've had my ass beat, it sucks, you know, and then here I am, I've whooped other people's asses, you know, they probably feel a similar way. I never beat someone's ass like Clint Scott beat mine, but, you know, I've definitely put a smack down on some people. It's not a very good way to live, you know. I blame the fact I got picked on and beat up so much in high school for the fact when I was in my, you know, late teens and early 20s that I was, you know, so quick to prove myself. But in retrospect, I didn't really have anything to prove. I just had a little bit of growing to do. So, you know, yeah, I don't know what the point of this is. I'm having a hard time finding great stories. I think it's because I'm tired in the evening, and I need to tell a story where I'm just like super excited and tell some funny anecdotes. So maybe I'll wake up early one morning and do it. Anyways, guys, this is Travis, Walk and Talk. Have a good one.